All right, well, here we are back, and I'm continuing with the story of Jason and the Golden Fleece. And let me just start with telling you where we were. You'll remember that Jason had been given to Chiron, the great centaur, to train as a hero when he was growing up. And he had spent all of his childhood out there on the wilds of Mount Pelion. Well, and then when he was 21 years old, he decided he would go home and he would reclaim his kingdom. But on the way, remember, he met an old woman whom he helped across the river. And as he went across, his shoes slipped off. And so he had to walk into the city of Iolcos with one shoe on and one shoe off. Now, Jason, of course, did not know this, but that was the prophecy that Pelias, the king who had stolen the throne, his uncle Pelias, had heard. The one person that he had to worry about was the man with one shoe. So in strode Jason, strong and proud, with many people behind him. And some of them were whispering, This is the man. He's the one with one shoe. He'll save us from this wicked king, Pelias. And there's Pelias, and he can very clearly see as he sits upon his throne, high above the room. There is Jason down below him. There is the man with one shoe. There is the man who may cause him to lose his throne. What should he do? And that's where I left you last time. So, Pelias looks and he sees the people out there behind Jason. He looks and he sees Jason and he's not quite sure what to make of him. He can see that he looks like his brother, and all in a flash he knows this must be his nephew, the man he thought was dead long ago. What should he do? Well, he does something that nobody expects, for he's quite a clever man, dangerous, fierce, but clever too. Perhaps the worst thing of all. He says, Jason, my goodness! Here I thought for all those so many years you were dead, and yet here you walk into the palace. I'm so happy to see you. Oh, why have you come, and why have you been gone so long? Now Jason is surprised to hear this, because as he's been walking in, he's heard the people behind him talking about how fierce Pelias was. And of course, he's heard from Chiron for so many years that how dangerous this man is. But instead of greeting him with a sword in his hand, he's greeting him as though he's his long-lost son. Very peculiar. So, Jason says, Well, I've come. I've come to claim the kingdom that you have stolen. You stole it from my father, and you've stolen it from me, and I've come to be king here in this realm. And Pelias said, Oh, gracious, I have longed for someone to come and to take this kingdom away from me. It is so hard to be king. Oh, it's such a burden, and especially the last few years. Now again, Jason is surprised, and he says, The last few years? Why? Why, Uncle? Why has it been so hard the last few years? And he says, Oh, it's the dreams. Every night, Phrixus comes into my dreams. The spirit of Phrixus, he wants to come home. Now, of course, you'll remember that last time I told you about Phrixus. Phrixus was the one who rode the golden ram all the way to Colchis. Yes. And he landed there and sacrificed the ram to Zeus. And he nailed its skin up, its fleece, up to a post in the grove of Ares, in the forest of Ares. But he was a Greek, and there he lived, and there he died. So everyone knew of Phrixus. But here was something new. His spirit was coming into people's dreams. Very peculiar, very peculiar. And so he said, well, what? What is it that he wants? Oh, he wants to come home. He wants to come home, said Jason. Well, how can he come home? He's dead. Oh, he says in the dreams that if some great hero were to come, if there were someone who could come and bring the golden fleece back to Greece, well, his spirit would come with it. And I would go. Oh, Jason, I would go, but I'm an old man. I'm not the man I was in all these years of being king. It's hard on a man. And so I've longed for someone to come who could maybe do that sort of a thing. It would have to be a brave man. Oh, a man who was not fearful of anything. A man who was looking to be a hero, who was looking for a way to make his name in the world, who was looking for a way to make himself worthy of a kingship. Oh, yes, it would have to be a man such as that. But I'm sorry, let me not talk to you about these things. Let me have a lovely feast for you, and we'll invite your father too, Ison. He can come in from the countryside, and we'll all have a great feast together. And maybe we can talk about just how you can become king. Well, so that is how Pelaius greeted Jason. And everything was different than how he expected. But when I see you on Friday, we'll talk about exactly what the feast was like. Right? See you.